Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Okay, give me 1 second. Un segundo. All right, guys, let me just get some cards ready. It's just such an energy today. Such an energy. I think it's more of like, I don't know, an energy of trying to see what can be done, trying to oof, there's a bug. Is that my hair? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. We're not even gonna acknowledge anything. we're just gonna let the hair be crazy. And we're just gonna keep right on trucking, right? Keep right on trucking. So, question here. How many of you feel this intensity? Do you feel the intensity that is building? Do you feel the potentialities that are being loaded for you? Right? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? All right. So let us see. When I asked what this reading was going to be about, what I heard is they are big mad that you cannot be stopped, right? They are big mad, big mad. You feel it too? I feel something. I feel something. I feel like there's something going on that is eventually going to work in our favor. Just kind of trying to collect my thoughts. There's a lot of different things that are trying to take your attention away from the whatever it is you need to pay attention to. It's it's a questionable thing. It is a questionable thing, and we're just gonna have to keep trucking, right? We're definitely just gonna have to keep trucking and make things happen. So I'm of the school of thought that we know what this means for us, that we have a very good idea of what this is trying to tell us. And I feel like whatever this is trying to tell us, we're going to need to pay attention, and we're going to need to allow ourselves the time and the space to do what needs to be done. I know for some of us, we've been going through something for quite some time now, and we kind of just want to avoid it at this point, like at all costs. We just don't want to deal with it. But one last thing, I guess one last thing. I'm not sure, but we're going to find out. We're definitely going to find out, right? All right, let us see. First couple cards. All right. Makes sense. It makes sense. Okay. It totally makes sense. There's going to be some things that are happening that if you let yourself stay focused on what needs to happen, what needs to be done, this is going to play out in your favor. Okay. This is absolutely going to play out in your favor. So let's get started. You're not imagining anything. Imagination in reverse. Whoever they are to you, they are big mad that you cannot be stopped. They are big mad that all of their attempts to subdue, to subjugate, to sabotage, it hasn't worked. It has not worked because I think at some point, whatever you're dealing with, whoever you're dealing with, it is absolutely something that something clicked into place for you. And it became a situation that continued to rapidly grow you rather than rapidly deteriorate your sense of self, your resolve, and all of that. I think what needs to happen is you need to come back home to yourself. For a bit, you haven't really felt at home in your life, in your body. You felt very I don't know if that would be the appropriate word, but the word that I heard is unsafe. You felt very unsafe within yourself. I'm wondering if it's because of someone's actions. I'm wondering if it's just because of your lack of your lack of belief in yourself. I don't know. I don't know. But this is something that you haven't been able to fully cleanse. You haven't been able to completely be rid of this yet. You've put a lot of effort. I'll give you that. You've put a lot of effort and it's made progress. It has. It hasn't made as much progress as you'd like, as much progress as you feel you should have already had. But you're making progress. And I think that's what you just need to um, really make sure you pay attention to. Okay. So I don't know what's happening, but let me just share this. Thank you for the reminder, Lindsay. I had taken this workshop off of the website last yesterday or the day before when I was in bed. And I was just like, okay, no more. No more. No more. No more. But last night, my husband was saying that I should share about the Black Magic Revocation workshop I'm having tomorrow. And I'm taking it as a sign since Lindsay shared it that someone still needs access. Someone still needs to be a part of this. And so there it is. I put it back up. I put it back up. Okay, I'll listen. Someone still needs access. There it is. If you would like to join me for the Black Magic Revocation Workshop, where I am teaching how to undo the malignant efforts of others, their upside down dark magic attempts to harm you. And I'm not teaching you witchcraft, I'm teaching you how to negate it using my techniques, energetic techniques that predate human existence. So, go check it out. Click the QR code or the link in the comment, and there it is. I wasn't going to mention it, but since I saw Lindsay reminded us, I take that as a sign. So, going back to the reading, there's something that you've been trying to cleanse from your life. I assume it's a person, a circumstance. Someone is just like an absolute hemorrhoid, right? Oh my gosh, such a hemorrhoid. And imagine not just a hemorrhoid, but also, this is someone who is so far in your crack that it's like a hemorrhoid paired with a thong or a G string. Like, I cannot imagine how uncomfortable that must be. So, this is something that just needs to be removed. And, be patient. Try your best to continue to be patient. I feel like it's already being removed from your life. Like it's being chipped away and chipped away and chipped away. And it's something that it is helping to solidify the ethos, your mindset of how unstoppable you are, how committed you are to your process, how like how deep you are into this. I mean, this is growing your strength. It is. Like take for example, I'll use me in my life as an example, which I always do. I always use me in my life as an example. Um, I have had a specific individual who has been trying so hard to derail, distract, destroy every aspect of my life, complete with threats to unalive me and multiple other people connected to me, family. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And I've been embroiled in one heck of a legal battle, international legal battle. It's about 18 months already since I initiated this criminal case slash civil case. And God, I mean, man, reusing that visual of a flared up hemorrhoid paired with, let's make it a V string, because boo, you're not going to pick that out of nothing. You're not picking nothing out of nothing. It is where it is, and it's going to stay there, right? So the discomfort of that, oh my goodness, it's been so aggravating. But something shifted in me today. This realization, everything that I'm going through, it is a preparation for the trajectory of my life. How to remain steadfast, right? How to remain steadfast and just absolutely clear on my objective. And, that's what I've done. I've remained absolutely steadfast. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was given some information today. I had an early morning meeting, and it was something that really brought my attention to what I need to pay attention to. That I'm healing, that I'm moving past these inconveniences. I'm choosing to see this as an inconvenience at this point, right? I'm choosing to see that. It's been delayed quite a bit because of the foolery and dishonesty of this individual, right? Coward. Talk all big and bad in emails. I will not retract what I said. I will say it to the judge. Yeah, you fucking coward. What a coward. All of a sudden, I didn't do nothing. What a coward with undescended testicles. Mm-hmm. Your testicles haven't even descended. Oh, that's a visual in itself. Oh, sorry, community. Sorry for that ugly visual. Right? A smegma of an individual with undescended testicles. Yikes. Yikes. I feel like my mindset is helping me to frame what I've been forced to endure for quite some time, frame it in a better way, a way that's much more powerful. And what way is that? Well, I had been seeing this as like, God, what is taking so long? What is taking so long with the amount of evidence that I continue to provide? Right? Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Right? The first commenter on this live stream, are you listening to me? Is that Poke Hob? Is that how you pronounce that? You listening to me? You listening to me? You hear what I'm saying to you? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? So now I'm reframing this. I've been seeing it simply from my perspective. And it's a really effed up situation from my perspective. And then something shifted today. And I was seeing it from another person's perspective, the complete opposite end of the spectrum. And I'm like, man, if I've been seeing it this way and it's been making me feel some type of way, I can't even, no, I can imagine actually. I can absolutely imagine how this has been deliciously painful for the past 18 months, not knowing how it's going to end, if your freedom is going to be taken away, the amount of fees, all of these different aspects that are just eating you away. Ah, I can't say that I care. I got other things to do. Amazing things. Amazing things. They are big mad that you cannot be stopped. And you have to reframe your mindset so that you can begin to see things with the clarity of what the reality of what you're living through is. Right? Right? mm, I find it interesting. I find it very, very, very interesting that the first commenter on this live stream, how come you asked a question and now you're not answering, huh? Hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. It's also been, documented already. So, removing the comment is not gonna do anything. It's not going to allow you to pretend as though there's nothing that's going to come of it. It's the same type of thing that everyone's already become accustomed to witnessing every single time. You see, there are those who want to present themselves as a healthy, balanced, masculine energy. It's regardless of your self-identification of gender or your physical gender. Really, it's this thing of masculine energy. There are those who want to present themselves as though they have this very powerful, very masculine, balanced masculine energy. Again, you know, it's the lack of descended testicles that's preventing them, I guess. Or maybe they're incapable. But even if they're incapable of recognizing that you're continuing to move forward, you're going to continue to thrive because that is what you're destined to do, because that is a part of your divine path. And nobody, I mean, nobody is going to get in the way of that. Not even you. Not even you. Right. So dealing with that buffoonery, that clownery for about 18 months at this point. We're approaching 18 months. And it's a thing of, did it destroy me? Did it do what it was intended to do, which is intimidate me, shut me up, stop me, shut me down, destroy my business, or whatever it is, right? Did that individual successfully extort me? Because I believe that was the plan, to use these guerrilla tactics to force me to promote their business. No, your business is shit. That's my personal opinion. What did it do instead? Oh my God, it empowered me tremendously at this point. And it's not because their tactics were designed to empower me. It was quite the opposite. It was because I chose to empower myself. And now, as I have launched myself onto another platform, Dang. People who come from the past who have been part of previous dramas years ago, years ago. There's no current drama outside of this criminal case. And there hasn't been any drama outside of this criminal case. Um, as people from the past come back, you guys have heard me talk about it. I confront it head on. Like, no, there is no room in my life for any of that caca. None. No. None. No room at all. At all. At all. At all. So, what did it do? This very difficult circumstance that was designed to destroy me, designed to show me that I'm unsafe in my life. No, the fuck, I'm not. Why? Because I'm powerful in my own right. I'm not talking about saying it. I'm talking about allowing myself to live in such a way where my power is fucking tangible, you guys. Oh my Lord. The shift that has occurred simply because I allowed it. Wow. 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 It's a tangible shift. It is a very, very powerful thing. Very powerful thing that's happening for all of us. Not just because my circumstance affects our entire community. No, I'm talking about the potentialities that are being loaded into our templates, our manifestation templates. Let me tell you, when you hold firm and you allow yourself to continue to speak clearly, eloquently, articulately about the truth of what you are experiencing, about the details of your life, I promise you, these people who are talking big and bad, they are nothing but a mama's boy with undescended testicles, hiding behind their mother. And you know what happens? All you got to do is continue to stand as you are. I'm not talking about physical aggression. I'm not even talking about aggression. I'm talking about owning your space. Truly owning your space. You know, I was on TikTok. Um, and I know I'm not going to have conflict anymore because I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow it. And it's not going to be something that that's going to need to be yelled about, right? So I was on TikTok the other day and I was doing expedites, and there was a person who was like something along the lines of, I've been joining your live streams for weeks now, waiting for you to scan me. I was referred to you by your friend. And I'm like, what friend? For all I know, that could be a complete stranger just sharing stuff, which I appreciate. Spread the word about me. And there was just something about the energy that was like really yuck. I don't know who this person is. And, um, it's totally this thing of like, what's going on here? Do I stay quiet? Knowing I'm feeling very disturbed by this, bordering on feeling as though this person is just being somewhat disrespectful to me, my sovereignty, and what it is I'm offering for free. And so instead of sitting there and gaslighting myself to stay quiet and pretend everything's okay, and you know what? Y'all know I can't pretend everything's okay, right? I decided to make stickers, emoji stickers of my facial expressions from live streams. I'm saying it's been so fabulous. I've been talking so much caca to all my loved ones using live stream screenshots. Oh my Lord. Oh my lord, it's been fun. But anyways, I knew my face couldn't hide it, so I was like, "You know what? Let me just address it. Let me just address it." So I just straight up I told the person, "I'm not going to pick you. I'm not going to pick you. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to play games. I'm not going to pick you because um the sense of entitlement and obligation, I'm not in a space within myself where I'm willing to return back to that, back to accommodating that. I'm just not willing. So let's do both of us a favor. I'm just going to address it. And I wasn't angry. Um, I just said it very matter of fact in a soft tone, actually. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. And it's just that thing of it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to choose you. I'm not drawn to you. And you're commenting. Um, it further solidifies how, remember the first card? I'm not imagining it. I wasn't imagining it. Right? I mean, I said, if you really want to scan, you can purchase an expedite. Yeah, it's $33, which for some people, that's no big deal. For other people, that's a very big deal. I respect both experiences, but that's the only way you're going to get a scan from me. And that's that. That's that. Right? I think part of what stops you sometimes is this fear of people will see you as mean or rude. Let them. Let them. Mhm. 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 Hold on one second. That's funny. Mhm. Let me go ahead and yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's one of those things where as the conversation continued in that live stream, and it was a very short conversation, they were like, "I save all my money for my health problems." Okay, but you're you're trying to get health answers from me and have me work on you completely for free. That has to do with your health problems. And if you've been watching me for weeks on end, as they claimed, then you would see I can absolutely help with health problems. I could help with that. The health problems that I've been working with people on in those live streams, they've had results that doctors could not produce for them after years of being seen by the doctors. It's about knowing your worth. It's about knowing your worth. And I'm not talking about the money portion. I'm talking about understanding that the only thing that is stopping you from reaching the levels of achievement that you are destined to reach is your perception of what you deserve. It is your perception of what you deserve. And that's why people are brought to you to cause you to question if you are being too much, asking for too much, being demanding, being too picky, being this, being that. Baby, they are big mad that you cannot be stopped. They've been trying to convince you to lessen your worth this whole time. And they can't seem to convince you of that. But see, here's the thing. You're not increasing your worth because although they can't stop you from realizing you deserve more than what breadcrumbs they're giving you, you're not opening yourself to seeing how much more it is you deserve. It's like, dang, everything you're going through, everything you're going through in this moment, whether you realize it or not, it is bringing you that much closer to that point where you begin to accept First, the awareness of the actual gravity of you. Secondly, allow yourself to receive what is rightfully for you. That includes abundance in all forms. Excuse me, responsibility. Are you taking responsibility for your life, for the trajectory of your life? Or is this something where you're not really taking responsibility? Instead, you are allowing yourself to kind of be cajoled by another person into believing something that's not even a full truth. It's like a half truth mixed with a very distorted, intentional lie, right? Why do we do this? Because as empaths, we become so accustomed to feeling like we have to apologize for our existence. No more. No more apologizing. Just exist. When you use all of your time apologizing for existing, you have no time left to exist in such a way that makes you a tremendous gift for the people you come across. Do you simply want to keep apologizing for existing? Because, I mean, why do you have to apologize when God co signed you into existence? Unless God approves of you, you're not going to exist. That's just that. That's just that. You're not going to exist. So there is a level of divinity above you, beyond your spiritual pay grade, that said, you know what? I need one of you. Team, go ahead and make one of them. Go ahead and make a Lori. Go ahead, team, make a dark warrior. Team, we need a Sheeman Renee up in this world. We need a Janet. We need a Maria. We need a sexy Jesus. We need one of each. One of each. There's never going to be another you. Like, really wrap your mind around that, the gravity of it. The gravity of it. If I were to disappear right now, today, what would happen? There would be a mad scramble to try and fill the role that I fill effortlessly. What role is that? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. But there's a role that I play, and there's going to be a mad dash to fill it. If any one of you disappears, there's a role that you play. We don't know what it is, but there's going to have to be a mad dash to fill that role. I can't do that role. I'm not you. So we're going to probably need several people to fill your role. I mean, do you understand the gravity of you? I mean, you might not understand the full thing. I don't understand the full gravity of me, but I do. I have finally reached a space where I no longer question if I have a gravity to me, an intrinsic worth that I'm still largely oblivious to. I mean, it's something, it's there. It's like you own a house, right? You grow up in this house, and um it's a family house, and it's a thing of like, it's just something you've always had, it's never been remodeled. It's just, it is what it is. It has sentimental value, but what's the tangible market value? You don't know. You've never looked it up. You never thought to look it up. You don't know. You just don't know. I mean, to you, it's an old house, right? It's all you know. You've never lived anywhere else. That's the only place you've ever lived. So what's the value? I don't know. I mean, whatever the houses are worth in this neighborhood. I mean, I don't know. Right? That's going to be your answer. Except here's the thing. That answer is not enough if you want the actual value. The whole concept of whatever the houses are worth in this neighborhood. All right. So I'll share a funny story. We owned our house in California. We were first time home buyers. And to me, it's like it was a very modest home, right? Totally not ashamed. It was just enough room for me and my family. And we kept adding kids. And then so it wasn't really just enough room anymore. It was kind of like it's starting to get cramped a little bit. We got a lot of toddlers. Um, but it's still very happy for us. We had this loan amount. And because I'm very responsible and hyper aware of every single aspect of our lives, especially back then, um, I decided to only use half of the loan amount that we were able to get. So our home was, even in terms of budget, a very modest home. It was a newer development, but it's a very modest home. Perfect for first time home buyer. Yeah. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I mean, I'm introverted. I don't have house parties. I don't like have guests over all the time. No, it's just always me and my family, my husband and my children. That's all. No one ever really comes over. So it's perfect for us. One day, because our kitchen window, um, our kitchen had a small eating nook, and that window by the eating nook, the kitchen nook, it faces the street. And there's like a little walkway in front of our window, wraps around the house because it was a corner house, wraps around the house to get to our front door. So you could get real pressed up on that window. And one of our neighbors, actually several of our neighbors, were really good friends of ours. We knew everyone on our street. And one of our neighbors, he comes up to the window. We're having brunch and the window's open. And he comes up to the window. He's like, "Hey, neighbors." And I was like, "Hey, you want to come in and have brunch with us?" And he's like, "No." And he was super excited. He's like, "Did you look at the values of all of our houses?" Now, he purchased the house when it was first made. We purchased after the economy crashed. We got it on clearance. Mhm. We got it like 50% off of what everyone else paid. Not even joking. We got it on clearance. It was amazing. And we were like, "No." He's like, "Did you guys look? Did you see how much our houses are worth?" And I was like, "No, we don't look at that." You're being so silly. I was just kind of looking at my husband like, he's tripping. I've never seen him this excited. You know why he was excited? The house is doubled in value. Hmm. Yeah, right. Doubled in value. They jumped up almost overnight. We didn't know the value of the home until we needed to know, because it just so happened that was a period, because my husband worked in Silicon Valley. He's a tech guy. He's been doing it for as long as I've known him. He's my Mr. Computer technical support guy. And if you guys are not aware, if you're in the computer industry, at least through the 2000s, I don't know about now, but all the tech giants, they don't hire permanent. It's extremely rare to get hired permanent. And so pretty much everyone is hired on as a contractor. And because of some court case, I think it was against Google years before this, all of the tech giants decided to implement a very specific policy with no exception. Once your contract is renewed, I think 2 or 3 times, you have to leave the company for a period of 6 to 8 months, something like that. So that it's very clear that you are not an employee, you do not deserve employee benefits. You have to completely be severed from the company. So I think the longest you could be there is for like 18 months straight. and then you have to go. They can hire you back after that period, but you got to figure out what you're going to do for 6 to 8 months, right? So my husband approached that end of the contract, and they were trying so hard to get him hired permanent, but there was a lot of like stuff going on within the company, nothing to do with him, but just company policy that was making it really hard for them to keep him permanent. Every tech giant that he's worked with, and he's worked with pretty much all of them. Pretty much all of them. Every single company he's worked with, they wanted to bring him on permanent. But again, because of all of the different things that they have to jump through, that was very, very difficult. So he's ending his contract, and it's like, what are we going to do? Right? He knew well in advance, and he was looking, and it's like, it's crazy because his experience, his technical training, everything would have made him an absolute catch for any company. And no company was calling us back or him back, not even for an interview. And then so we had a very intense discussion. We weren't arguing, but it was just like, ooh, scary. He said, why don't we try going to Texas? And I'm like, do you want to go to Narnia? Anything beyond the Bay Area is Narnia. Come on, that's California for you. Anything beyond like a 30-40 minute drive for people who have lived in California for a prolonged period, you're entering Narnia. You're planning a trip to Narnia. Ask anyone from California, it's true. Yeah, like 30-40 minute drive to come visit me. That's why no one came over. I lived like 30 or 40 minutes from the Bay Area. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, you live so far." Oh, then don't come over, right? So, yeah, no, we had that discussion that it was maybe time we start considering leaving the state. Yeah. And we didn't need to know the value of our home until we had that conversation. And this was in 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. It was a while back. And wouldn't you know, I think it was like a day or two later, that's when the neighbor, it was like all up in our window, face pressed on the screen, like, bro, you're stretching my screen. Yeah, no, he was an amazing neighbor. We loved our neighbors. And he brought our attention to the fact that the value is something far beyond what we expected. Far beyond what we expected. It literally doubled in value. Is that what's happening to your value? You're so busy focusing on these day-to-day things, which, I mean, they're not necessarily just trivial, petty things, you know? Some of the things that go on in your day-to-day life are very time-consuming, thought-consuming, energy-consuming. But here's the point I'm trying to make. Regardless of how intense what you're going through is, if that is all you are focused on, you're not going to be aware of the ways in which your value is increasing. Excuse me. Simply because time is passing and you are maturing with every experience. You are maturing. And if you know how to present yourself, to show your assets in the best way possible, oh my gosh, the payoff. So I have a history of being a fashion photographer, boudoir. So I specialize in fashion, boudoir, avant-garde, as well as editorial and product photography. Basically, you need me to take a picture, I'll take a picture. I just don't do events because people, it's too much. It's too much. I get scared. So when it came time to list our home, we went with a realtor, and And she's like, okay, I have a photographer. I can have them come, I know you have kids. Let's set up a day and a time where you can bring the kids out, make sure the house is nice and tidy. And so I said to the realtor, do you mind if I go ahead and take the pictures myself? Because I'm a photographer. And she's like, oh, we could try that. And if we get no bites, then we'll have to talk it over, reassess, and I might need to bring someone from my team in. And I was like, okay. So you know what I did? I live near a Target. So what I did, I went ahead and I went to Target and I bought enough stuff to stage one room, just one room. And then I mixed and matched things so that way you can't tell, as I staged every other room, and I did it in in sections. That's what I did. I spent about $100. I didn't buy a whole bed. I put a fucking folding table. Put two folding tables side by side, and I covered it with a blanket. I'm saying no one's gonna lay on it. No one's gonna lay on it. So that's what I did. I staged every single room. I staged the kitchen. And the time we were living there, I went ahead and installed built-ins myself. I did a built-in organizer system thingy from scratch in our walk-in closet. I did a built-in entertainment center in our living room. I did all of that myself. I'm not a fucking carpenter, but I got ADHD. And I can't sit still. So I did all of that. And when I gave this realtor the pictures, she's like, "Oh my God, your home is beautiful." And I was like, it's not big. And she goes, "You made it look huge." And I was like, "Are these pictures good enough?" She goes, "This is better than what my photographer would have done." I know, because I love the home. I love the home. See, when you love something, you always want to show it in its best light. When you truly love something, not just own it, when you love it, oftentimes that love translates for others in such a way that it's seen, whatever it is that you love is seen in the most beautiful way. Within a week, our house was sold at asking price. And that asking price was set extremely aggressive. It was the highest asking price per square foot in a neighborhood full of huge homes. And we had this little tiny home. It's one of those homes where you share the driveway. You got a little tiny driveway, and the street to enter your street, it's a shared street. It's like a little tiny mini cul-de-sac. Right? I loved our home. It looked like a very saucy first time buyer home. Sold real quick, asking price. And sometimes you don't believe your worth until someone comes along and is like, no, nope, I agree with it. I absolutely agree with it. Right? The same thing happens for you day in and day out, where your value increases and you don't know what that value is. And you're so accustomed to being the badass, the unstoppable badass that you are, that you don't realize how much you are just completely ignoring. It doesn't mean other people don't see it. There is someone who is very big mad that you cannot be stopped. You can't be stopped because you have a guardian. That guardian speaks to you through your intuition. Listen to it. Listen to it. Listen to it. And you know what? When you continue to listen to that guardian who is trying to help you navigate quite possibly the most difficult period of your journey thus far, you won't even need protection. Why? because all of that is going to miss you. No, none of that's going to hit. None of that's going to stick. None of that, none of that, none of that. Anything you do not give permission to enter into your life and coexist with you in your thoughts, your heart, your external environment cannot coexist with you. It cannot. It will not be allowed. It will not be allowed. You need to embody this logic. Why? Because it is how you tap into the powerhouse that you are. It's time. It's time to see yourself in the proper light. It's time to regard yourself in the proper way. There was something that I watched yesterday. Hold on. Let me find it. It was a very powerful thing. It was some guy. Oh no, not this priest. Here. It is Erwin McManus. Here, hold on. Let me send it. I want you guys to watch this. I just was newly introduced to this gentleman. I found him on Instagram. I was scrolling. I'm all about sharing people who share profound things that give me a better perspective, or things that help to further ripen a perspective that already exists within me. I love that. I don't believe there's any competition between people who have profound minds. Where did it go? Here it is. Here it is. Let's go ahead and share this. Ba-da-da-da-da. Okay. So his name is Erwin. I don't know. The video has to play first. Hold on.
You cannot be humble if you do not know your power. If you do not know your power, you're not humble, you're just afraid. You're not humble, you're just compliant. The only person that can be truly humble is the person who knows their strength and knows their power, then chooses it to serve, chooses to empower, not overpower. I believe kindness is one of the highest values that I know that I have in my life. When you have strength and you're kind, that's where it perplexes the world.
His words. When you have strength and you're kind, not nice, but kind, knowing your power and using that power in a space of service. Wow. That was beautiful, Mr. Erwin McManus. I don't know if that's how you say it. I hope I said it right. Profound, profound. I want to play it again for you guys one more time. No, stop it.
You cannot be humble if you do not know your power. If you do not know your power, you're not humble, you're just afraid. You're not humble, you're just compliant. The only person that can be truly humble is the person who knows their strength and knows their power, then chooses it to serve, chooses to empower, not overpower. I believe kindness is one of the highest values that I know that I have in my life. When you have strength and you're kind, that's where it perplexes the world.
I think we are a community of people with tremendous strength paired with elevated kindness, a humbleness that is chosen, born out of our realizations through moments of adversity that we have overcome. We are a community of people who have no desire to overpower, but instead empower. Wow. That realization. Once you get to that space, you become truly unstoppable. And when you become unstoppable, you then begin to truly flow with what you were born to do in this life. So my bestie gave me, she had peonies delivered to me, right? I loved it. I loved it. Oh my gosh. And it was this thing of like, oh man. Yeah. It was a thing of the tightly closed buds, me recognizing that because they were closed so tight, that means I'm going to have plenty of time to enjoy watching them bloom. But that was paired with this excitement and impatience of wanting them to already be fully opened, fully bloomed. And I was very torn. Should I do something to facilitate the blooming? Or should I try and slow that process down somehow? I want to watch them, but I also want to preserve them. Do I dry them? Do I put them in acrylic and preserve them forever? Oh gosh, it was just, I was so torn. I was so torn. Mm, yeah. I don't know why it makes me so emotional. Within like an hour or two, um, quite a few of the tight buds were already almost fully opened. I think because I had connected with it so deeply. Mhm. So deeply that my energy infused into these tight buds. I was watching myself blossom. Yeah. It's like you want to slow it down, but you can't. You can't. Watching yourself enter into a space of bloom where you begin to bloom, you're no longer simply a tight bud where there is only a promise of the essence, the sweetness, the softness of the petals. It's only a promise of the potential of what will eventually happen. No, when you start to bloom, that promise is being lived in real time. It's being witnessed. It's an unfolding. It's an unfolding that's happening for you. And once that unfoldment begins, it cannot be stopped. It cannot be slowed. It simply needs to be witnessed and cherished for what it is. And the more I think about these flowers, I'm like, oh, it's just so many messages in them. So many messages coming from it. Like, what type of messages? Well, I mean, it's the wrong season for peonies. It just is. Peony season is a very short window, small window, short period of time. It's from like mid-May until about mid-July. And then after that, pretty much the rest of the year, you really can't find peonies. It's very hard to find them. It's very, very hard. How do I know? Because the florist that I worked with, who did the arrangements for my mother, I went right back to her when my aunt passed away. And I asked her to create something beautiful, also using peonies. And She's a very experienced florist, and she said there's no way for her to secure peonies. It's not possible. Yeah. I told her I'll pay more. I'll pay whatever you want. I want peonies. And she's like, there's no way. I'm sorry. Yeah. And she knows I would pay more to see myself blooming out of season. Mm. Wow. How powerful do you have to be? How full of life? How needed? How needed are you that you would defy nature by simply existing and blooming? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of shifting has been taking place over the last few weeks. And these shifts, they're designed to position you in such a way that facilitates an extremely powerful process that has already been initiated on your behalf. How quickly this process will go, that's between the self and the soul. I don't know. I don't know. I do know, though, that person who is big mad because you cannot be stopped, they're about to have a really fucked off summer, and we don't need to care. We don't need to celebrate it, just like we don't need to feel guilty or care. Whatever they're going through, it's definitely something they started, they initiated. It is an end result of their actions and has nothing to do with you. They might try and pass it off as though it was you. You did it. It's your fault. No, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you did not. No, you did not. You did not do anything. The only thing you did was be unstoppable, exist. And if someone wants to be all upset about your existence, they can take it up with God. I'm serious. They can take it up with God. If they feel that strongly about it, they should. They should take it up with God, not with you. Ooh. Your compassion, you're someone who has tremendous amounts of compassion. Okay? You have a lot of compassion. Your compassion and patience, for many of you, your compassion is expressed by way of patience. You're very patient with people, or you're very patient with a specific person in your life, right? Um, I just turned on my heater. Whoever this is for you, this is who you've been really, really patient with. Um, it's time for you to withhold that patience at this point. It's time. It's time. And as you are no longer allowing yourself to be extra patient with whoever this is, do not allow them to reclaim your patience by guilting you, shaming you, making you feel as though you're the problem. And no, no, just keep going. Just keep going. Keep going. It's not a big deal. It's not. If what is that? There's a vibrating sound. It's my heater. Okay. So if this continues, if whoever this is continues to try and interfere, you're going to have to do something about this. That warrior sword. Ooh, complete with a ram's horns. I'm saying, you know what? You know what? I think I was joking around on TikTok, and I was like, because I have Capricorn in my chart. God was like, you know, that one pointing at me, right? God said that one can be a little intense. So no, no, she's gonna need horns. She's definitely gonna need horns because she's gonna have to ram things out of her way. But you know, make sure her horns curve down and in so that she doesn't actually harm anyone, because then she's going to cry about it. Accurate. It's accurate. It is. I would. I would, though. I would. And so it's this thing of you're given the ability to defend yourself. Look at this. You can ram things out of your way, and that doesn't make you a bad person. You're not intending to hurt anybody. You're not being encouraged to hurt anyone, to be intentionally malignant or malicious, but you do need to claim your space. They're big mad that you can't be stopped, and you need to really play that up. Don't let them think they can stop you. Don't let them think they can stop you. They cannot stop you. They cannot. Only you can stop yourself. And even then, I'm gonna have to tell you, I think your higher self is gonna like veto that. I think your higher self is gonna be like, nope, nope. You know why I say that? Because play in reverse. Your higher self is like, no, you're not playing this game again. Mm-mm. Everything is happening in such a way to ensure that whoever this is that's trying to stand in the way of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, needing to accomplish, being told to accomplish by soul, yeah, no, they're not going to be allowed to do that to you. No, they're not going to. Don't let yourself get. This is the bamboozle free zone. No, absolutely not. No, ma'am. Like, no, ma'am. Nuh-uh. Mm-mm. No, no. Okay. So we're not going to play that game no more, right? When you stop playing that game of catering to other people's manipulations, you exit the space of the void that you've been existing in unnecessarily. The void in reverse. You've been existing in this holding tank, a space that's very devoid of understanding. Like, see what I'm saying? Share wisdom in reverse. So you're partitioning what you've learned. You're storing it away. Like, what is this? Are you like a life lesson chipmunk? You just store it in your cheeks. You store it away. Are you storing the information in your cheeks? Just chew it up. Chew it up, digest it. Allow it to, be metabolized. Allow it to be shared through all of your systems. Share that wisdom between the self and the soul. That wisdom between the self and the soul is important. Okay. I've got a notification. It says, "Hey, hurry." Hey, hurry. Hurry. Hurry up. Hurry. You got to hurry up. I don't know what you got to do though. Let's see if the cards tell. Okay. Okay. These are good. These are good cards. I was thinking of reprinting a new expanded version of my Oracle deck, my Oraclair. Do you guys know I made a deck. I had a cockamamie-ass idea to make a deck, and I did. I made it. Okay. And they're professionally printed. I love it. So this is telling me something really intense. What you're being asked to hurry and do, what you're being asked to hurry and do is very specific to you. It is very, very, very specific to you. And what is it? I don't know. But it has to do with your galactic heritage. It has to do with your last filtering before you entered into this life. 100% at 321 109 55 59 5. Ooh, fives and nines. Change. God is trying to create an opportunity for change in such a way that this circumstance, like code injection, you've been paused so that it can be overcome. so that it can be overcome. That stagnation you're experiencing, there are truths that are being injected, but remember the partition, that share wisdom card, right? But it was in reverse. You're not allowing yourself to receive the awareness that's necessary. And that awareness has to do with your galactic heritage, what you're capable of. So, okay, in layman's terms, whatever your last filtering is, it is very much tied to some of the purpose you have in this life. For example, part of my galactic heritage, my most prominent filtering before entering into this life was through Arcturus. Arcturus and Lyra. So I just claw the crap out of you. Lyrans are fierce little kitty cats. And Arcturus, those who come from Arcturus, they are Arcturians, and they are very well known for being master healers. Yeah. Like when I work on you, if you've ever experienced this, I work on you and I'm doing something very intense and suddenly you get very, very cold, like down to your bones. That's Arcturian energy. I'm harnessing my galactic heritage. I know a lot of people have asked me like, "Oh, Emmy, where are you from? What have you this and that, starseed and yada." I'm like, "I'm human. Leave me alone." But for what I'm trying to help you understand about yourself, it's important for you to know that. My primary purpose in this life, it has to do with healing people. Healing in ways that are not always physiological, right? It's not always a physiological thing. Oftentimes, when people need me the most, what's needing to be healed the most is something emotional in nature. Emotional that has emotional root that has affected the intellectual processing of specific life events. It's a very powerful thing. The root of emotions, it goes deep. And as you go up from the soil, those emotions become the trunk, and the trunk is your intellect. And it's from your intellect that you grow the leaves, all of these different potentials and life experiences, and the things that you learn are the fruit, right? The fruit. The fruit is what sustains you. When you allow yourself to take in what you've learned, if you can take accountability for yourself and your actions, you then begin to nourish the soul. You don't feel so fractured or fractionated or fragmented. You don't feel any of those things. And you don't even have to try. By simply existing, this process becomes unstoppable, much like you, right? So this light code injection and overcome. You'll overcome this, but you need to allow your process to become what it is. What is that? What is that? Self-realization that leads to self-actualization, which then becomes self-activation, all stemming from self-awareness. I'll say something that Michael is telling me to say this. He's because we're having a little side chat as I'm talking. Thank you, ADHD. We're kind of talking about how sometimes I notice certain types of characteristics. I'm very much a people watcher. I tend to be very quiet and unobtrusive in my observations of people. And I just observe. I like to see patterns. I like to understand. And the more people I'm exposed to, that I'm able to simply just observe from a space of neutral observation, the more I understand the psychology of people, of humans, how we think, and how our thoughts affect the realities that we co create with others. And he initiates this conversation with me, Michaela. And he asked me a specific question. And my thing is that I've come to a point of awareness and realization that in order to really become aware of yourself, you need to sit and listen. Listen to the thoughts that come through and allow yourself the time and the space to process why you think that way, why you identify that way. And the people who have the most profound potential are often the people who don't announce any of that. So, why would this conversation take place? Because for many of you, quite a few of you in our community, you can't bring yourself to admit to yourself, much less share publicly, the ways in which you are so profoundly gifted. You are so powerfully positioned to be of service, not just to our community, but to the world at large. And it becomes something that is very painful to watch because I cannot say anything about it. It's not my place. It's not my place. It is not my place to interfere with people's journeys. It is not my place to try and get you to see what I can very easily see about yourself. That sometimes before you can see what I can very easily see, because I have not lived the life that you have lived and been programmed in the way that you have been programmed to see yourself, I can see what you can't. This is the very reason why you can see in me what I cannot see myself. I was telling my sister yesterday. So we send each other memes and stuff, like here and there. But we both work out. We were going to try and do a competition together. And so we send funny memes and funny videos. And I was sending her the stickers that I made of my face. Yeah. Michael says to show you one. I'll show you guys. But so I sent her a sticker and she's cracking up. She's like, "Oh my God, these stickers are killing me." And she said she wanted stickers. And I was like, "Well, I'm going to need pictures of you to send you stickers." And she goes, "No, I mean pictures of your face." I was like, "What? What?" Like today, I was working out and I told my husband I was done. I didn't want to work out anymore. So I was like, "I'm done. I'm dead." And I sent him this. Because I just be having fun with life. You know what I'm saying? I be having fun with life. Michael says to show you guys this picture. Like, yeah, sometimes people be wearing masks and they don't want to show their real self. They don't want to show their real self, but sometimes you gotta really, just stay hush about it. You just gotta stay hush about it because, it's not always your place to talk. Right? And, it's just one of those things. My husband is cracking up because I'm texting him these things. that and then like um here, on my way to stir shit up. I'm just on my way to stir shit up. There I go. And I was super sad about this sticker because if you look like where my foot is at, that's not a footrest. That's actually um training wheels for that little tiny motorcycle that I happen to be the perfect size for. But they wouldn't sell me the training wheels. They were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, someone already purchased the training wheels." I was like, "What?" But it's on this bike, and they're like, "We're gonna have to take it off." What? They wouldn't let me have the training wheels. Whatever. But I was sending her all of these stickers because, like, my sarcasm has been extra on fire lately. It's been amazing to just send people all of these, like, stickers of me in really sarcastic facial expressions. And I said to her, like, I don't know why people like take what I have to say with such seriousness when I'm looking at all of these screenshots of me in live streams and it's like I could never take myself seriously. I don't know why people watch me. And then I sent her another one, another sticker, and I was like, you know what? I am hella cracking up over here. I know exactly why people watch me. It's for the straight comedy. It's for the straight comedy. It's comedy. It's hilarious. Some of the things that come out my mouth is hilarious. But at the same time, is it that? Do you join me on such a regular basis because you need a good laugh? Or is it something else that I still don't quite understand, but I just simply accept that, you know, it is what it is. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And I'm just going to accept that. And me flowing with that without fully understanding has made me that much more unstoppable. So, do you need to fully understand why someone is big mad that you can't be stopped? Why they would want to stop you? Like, what is the big deal about you? You're just you. That's a thing. You're you. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. Who you are is a big deal to someone. And I mean, maybe they have the courage to say something to you at some point about what a big deal you are. Or maybe they never will, but the fact still remains. You're seen by others in ways that you cannot comprehend because you don't see the profound nature of you, the profound nature of you. And as you're going through this royal return, right? You're returning back to your space of being a royal. Look, whatever jewels that were needed to solidify your illuminated state, they're being returned. They are being returned to you. Let it come home. Let your awareness of who you are come home to you. Let it. Let it. Let it happen. Duality. You're still existing in a space of duality. So that's telling me that um it is something of either being one thing or the other, when what you should use to describe yourself is and, not or. Does that make sense? I am either feminine or masculine, and that's not true for me. It's not. Depending on how I'm dressed, if I cover up what little hair I have left. It's funny to me, don't worry. Um, Depending on how I present myself and which angle you are approaching me from, um, I could look like an androgynous male. Yeah. I don't know if this guy was joking at Home Depot, but he came up from behind me and I was dressed in men's clothes. And he goes, "Sir, do you need any help?" And I turned around and he goes, "Oh, oh, I'm sorry." And I said, "It's okay. I have the build of a 10-year-old boy." It's true. It don't hurt my feelings. It's true. Um, from the back, I do. I have the build of a 10-year-old boy. Oh, but it's funny to me because that's not an insecurity of mine. I'm absolutely a full-grown woman. So I can joke around about it because I understand what I actually am. And it doesn't offend me that people don't know what that is, even temporarily, because I embody both. You notice how I'm a different type of woman than what society expects women to be. And you probably can't put your finger on it. It's like, like, she's feminine, but at the same time, like, there's just, I don't know how to describe it. I'm masculine. It's true. My energy is very masculine. It's very masculine. My appearance, my voice is very feminine. If I'm completely covered up, you don't see my face, you will pick up on masculine energy. I'm not a broken person. I'm not confused. I'm not bi-curious. I'm not trans. I'm not any of those things. I am simply a totality. I am a masculine woman. I embody both masculinity, femininity, and I allow whatever is the most appropriate for what I'm facing to be what is the dominant energy. And for those of you who've watched me for any length of time, you've seen me be very nurturing, very compassionate, very matriarchal, protective of our community. You've also seen me like really hold my own, be very fearless in confrontation. That's traditionally a masculine trait. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need to explore um, my identity or my sexuality or any of that. I know exactly what those things are. I am a totality. I draw from both because I exist in a space of wholeness. When you still only identify yourself as what society tells you you should be, you're existing in a duality. For a very long time, people felt that I shouldn't stick up for myself. Why? To make it easier for you to do what you want? I don't think so. That's why I've been very vocal about it past 2 months, 3 months. That old girl's gone. You're not going to be able to just do whatever you want. Messing with me now comes with consequences. That's not a threat. I'm saying I'm going to speak up. I'm going to correct you. I'm not going to allow you to treat me however you want. There are boundaries that are upheld these days. Appropriate boundaries, reasonable boundaries. And I will not be shamed into a space of thinking I'm being too much. I'm not being too much. I'm being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm being honest. I'm being very honest. If I'm not feeling you, I'm not feeling you. And that's just that. Does it mean you're a bad person? No. It means you and I are not compatible. And maybe it's just time to go. No biggie. If you want to be unstoppable, you simply have to be yourself and no longer allow people to convince you, coerce you into a space of playing along with whatever they're doing. No, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not here to play any games with anyone. With anyone. Mm-mm. I'm here very focused on what my soul is instructing me to do. And what is that? I don't fully know yet, but I can feel it kind of like simmering, not in a bad way, but just simmering. Like when you're waiting for soup to be reheated and it's like this gentle boil that's happening. And you know, the soup is very warm at that point, but you want it like hot. You want that really soothing heat. And so you let it boil a little bit longer. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm simmering, this gentle rolling boil. And I'm not in a rush. I don't need to turn the heat all the way up high. Like I want this to happen slowly. Have you ever made caramel sauce, anything like that? Hopia pie? Oh God, stop. Hopia pie. I'm telling you. Mm. For my tropical people, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my God. For my non-tropical people, at some point we're going to do an in-person meet and greet. No, I'm not a celebrity. I'm talking about for us as a community, meet each other, greet each other, right? And I'll make some hopia pie for everybody. But you might have to fight my kids for it because they love it. Okay, so getting back on track, hopia pie is kind of like a coconut, almost like a custard, but it's not a custard. It's like um the consistent I don't even know. It's like a coconut cream. It's so delicious. So wishes. It's just so wishes, as my kid says. So wishes. uh, oh my God. I love that. They try so hard to enunciate. um, so with hopia pie, you can't put that on high heat. You're gonna be stirring for quite some time. You're gonna be stirring for quite some time. You need it to thicken in such a way that, it becomes a consistency you want it to be so it sets nicely. It's an amazing texture. Oh my God. It's like eating a coconut cloud. Did I snort? I snorted. Oh, it's like eating a coconut cloud. Oh, it's so good. If you turn up the heat real high because you're impatient, because you need to reduce the liquid that you mix it with, that's gonna burn. It's gonna burn. It's gonna taste nasty. It's gonna taste like burnt something. Ew. I also make vegan toffee, make vegan caramel, and you can't do that on high heat. That you got to stir that quite some time. I make paleo grain free, gluten free teriyaki sauce. Boo! Stop. That takes like an hour of stirring. You got to reduce that and thicken it just slowly. Like, oh my gosh. Because if not, it's kind of like it's going to be burnt and nasty, right? It's like that. Simmering it to get all the goodness. Allow all those aromatics to just release their aromas and flavors, right? I think for some of us, that's the process that we're in. But here's the thing. Dark interference. They want you to burn your stuff. You know, do you guys want to know my advice for dark interference? You know my advice? Let me just take a deep breath. Let me calibrate myself so that not too much venom comes out my mouth as I say it. When there are those who try to inject your life with dark interference, my advice is fuck those bitches. Sorry for my language. It's necessary. It's necessary. Do not turn up the heat just because you're annoyed. Calibrate it. Save that fuel. Save that fuel. All of the emotions that you feel because of these people who are big mad that you cannot be stopped, they're providing you fuel. Those emotions are the fuel. So use it. What's a better use of your fuel? um Oh, that's funny. Hold on, guys. Let me go ahead and ban someone really quick. Give me 1 second. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. La 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 la. One set of footprints in the sand. Lord, you promised me you'd hold my hand. Da 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 da. I love that song. All right. Sorry about that. So here's the thing. You're attracting things to you. Things that will give you fuel. More fuel than you realize. So what's going to need to happen? You are going to need to dun, 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 be aware of how you're using your fuel. The fuel is like a candle, right? It's a candle. Now, every time you have conflict, you're given another candle. Are you going to take all of your candles and light them at one time so that you could have this huge show of light for, I don't know, however long that candle's going to last? I don't know, an hour, 2 hours. Some of my candles, the candles that I use for fire ceremonies, those are like 12-hour candles. Hell, a long time. 12 hours, right? So the whole room is gonna be bright for 12 hours. What happens after that? You back in darkness? Is that beneficial for you? I mean, for me personally, I'll go ahead and I will use one candle at a time. And if I've been given 10 candles and each candle lasts for 12 hours, that's 120 hours that I'm going to have light. Yeah. Powerful things happen when you use your fuel responsibly. When you don't let people trigger you into a space of being nothing but reactive, burning your fuel unnecessarily, the things you can do. You know, when I was stuck in a parking lot for several months, I was homeless and transient, and we lived in our RV. So it broke. We're stuck. Not a big deal. You know what I did? I bought a whole bunch of those solar lights that you put in your walkway. They're like $1 each at Walmart. I bought a whole bunch of those. We had no generator, no electric, no nothing. So it was like primitive times. I loved it. And what we would do, we would let these solar lights charge during the day. And as the sun starts to set, but it's not yet dark, we take the batteries out. If you take it, you could take it apart, you could take the battery out. It's a little battery. And so once it gets dark, the light will turn on automatically. There's a sensor. And so we only leave a few batteries in, and we each have our own little tea light candle. And it was just beautiful. I think that's why I loved it so much. Um, we did everything by tea light in the evenings and at night. And on Saturdays, so Friday night, I'd get started. I'd have auctions on Saturdays. I would have auctions. I would make all of these selenite swords, and it was very successful. It was successful to the degree that I patented my designs. It was that successful. And Friday night, I would start. As soon as the kids are off to bed, I start and I go for hours out, literally through the whole night. I'll sleep maybe 30, 40 minutes before the auction starts. And then I'll auction every single last one. And people often were like, how do you make all of these swords in the middle of the night? By solar tea light. I'd have like 10 of them. And I would use maybe one or two at a time. It would last me the whole night. And I would work until the sun comes up. And then everything would be done. Sleep for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then starts the auction. By conserving my fuel, I was able to do powerful things that helped many people. But I realize now I wasn't in a powerful space then. Why? Because I was still in the mindset that my fuel, although I'm responsibly conserving it to get the greatest amount of impact from it, I had convinced myself my fuel was only for use if other people benefit, never myself. That's why we were stuck for so long, despite that being so successful. Yeah. I was part of the group that started the whole social media live selling craze that's still going on through to today. It was amazing. It was amazing to be part of something that, when properly calibrated, when responsibly harnessed, it can completely change your life. I know it changed mine. It brought me to the spaces that I needed to exist in for a time so that a lot of they could become big mad that I cannot be stopped because I learned best through adversity. Unfortunately for me, I learned best through adversity. Makes it very difficult for me to refuse the lesson and the learning and the gift I receive when I'm done learning. These days, I don't need lessons via adversity anymore because I'm willing to allow myself to be immersed in whatever the circumstance is with minimal amounts of adversity so I can learn and grow and be an even stronger expression of myself and my truth. If you don't want that, ooh, these are the things you need to work on. These are the things that are upside down. Okay. These are the things that are very much upside down. And if you work on these things, you will see tremendous change in your life. Not only will you not be able to be stopped by others, you won't be able to stop yourself either. You're just going to keep going and you're going to enter into a space of extreme, extreme success. There are those in our community who are destined for extreme success. And they tend to be the ones who are like, I just want to help other people. And I mean, really mean it. I don't mean like say that because it sounds good. I mean, These are the people who really just want to help other people. They want to be stable in their life so that they could help other people. Has to be genuine. Soul knows when you're playing a game. So it has to be genuine, right? It's 4 things. Shift. You haven't been allowing the shift to occur. This shift is going to change the way you see yourself and your life. When you begin to shift, your perspective will shift as well. Notice how all of these cards are upside down. The way you see yourself will affect the way you move through things. The way you move through things will affect, improve, or degrade your degree of efficiency. Efficiency in reverse. Maybe you're hesitating for too long. Maybe you're making things harder than they need to be, right? Maybe you're not allowing your, where's Ocean? Now, hold on. I'm just going to record something. Ocean, I'm live right now. I hope this doesn't interrupt your workday, but this is a message that I believe you need to hear. And I don't want to have you have to watch an entire live stream to find this. But as I was saying, maybe part of the way you're affecting your efficiency negatively is by not allowing yourself to receive the help that you are being offered that is genuine with no strings attached. Maybe what needs to happen is you need to just allow things. Allow things. So we had 3 cards. Perspective was in reverse. You're seeing things in a very upside down way. And that upside down perception comes from your lack of willingness to shift. This whole being stuck in a space where you were not allowed to be properly supported, or no one properly supported you without having um without having strings attached, or certain types of expectations from you, right? That needs to shift. You're no longer in that space. Staying in that space is affecting your efficiency. That's why you're not able to manifest things to the degree that it needs to be manifested, right? Again, this is a general reading, so if this is resonating for you guys, then your soul is probably telling you this. And if it's not resonating for you guys, then sit tight, you'll be fine. The final card, revolution in reverse. It's time to do something revolutionary. Are you someone who refuses to allow people to help you because why? I mean, I was there too. I was there too. I definitely was there for quite some time. As a matter of fact, I've only just begun exiting out of it. And Ocean has a name for me. You guys might or might not know about. Ocean calls me Stubborina. Instead of Emmy Nicolina, she calls me Emmy Stubborina. Okay. We both stubborn. So har. Um, ooh, I got a notification. It says, oops. Hold on, guys. Unclaimed cash. Mm-hmm. Claim the money you're entitled to. Unclaimed money info. This money could be yours. Get your money. Money. No, I'm serious. That's what it says. Ooh. And then, okay. I'm telling you, God is speaking right now. God is speaking right now. Okay. Final card. Let's do one final card. I got to get going. I got to teach class. Here goes. Oh, shoot. She's about to go in. Don't go in on me, though. I'm gonna send her a picture of Jesus staring. Hold on, guys. It's killing me, Smalls. It's killing me. Okay. Okay, hold on. Look, I'm telling you guys. Oh my God. I've been on an absolute kick with these dang stickers. So she messages, I'm about to go in. There's Jesus watching her. Hold on. She needs one more. She needs one more. Hold on. What should I put? All right. There we go. Hold on. Just let me, okay? Let me text you whatever you want. She gonna tell me if you don't sit your butt somewhere, I'm seated. I'm seated. I'm sitting down. Hey. It's Jesus watching you. It ain't me. It ain't me. Ooh, okay. What picture I send you when you send me laughter? I do preemptive strikes. Hold on. Let me find you guys. Look. Because I know she's just gonna laugh it off. I already know. I'm waiting. You gonna send me all these laughing ass faces? I'm serious. Okay. Final card, guys. Final card. I'm gonna stop messing around now. I'm gonna stop messing around. Gotta stop messing around. Ooh, here we go. I'm telling you guys, I might sell emojis of my face. Emmy emoji pack. I'm saying we need to raise money for this sanctuary somehow. We need to we need to raise money for this sanctuary somehow. You know what I'm saying? If you guys have screenshots of weird ass faces that I make during live streams, I'm saying send them over. Send them over. Okay. Final card. Card number 21. Sacred Phoenix Heart. Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. In total faith, love tenderly guides every lover to the garden of the heart. Reason says the world is limited in 6 directions. There is no way out. Love says there is a way, and I have traveled it many times, right? How I adore your defiant, rebellious heart. It knows that what for the mind is an end is for the heart simply another match to ignite the sacred flames. It eats of love until it's filled and then becomes hungry again and eats some more. Again and again, it eats of love until it is so full it must simply explode into a sacred fire of passion. It bursts incapable of sustaining old consciousness and the expanse of blessings unlimited, lavished upon it through the great beloved's affection. It would be like attempting to fit an ocean in a teacup, so it does not. It bursts forth like a dying star into a spectacular radiance, only to be reborn again, new and hungry for the next feeding frenzy in love's great banquet. How I adore your defiant, spectacular heart. Love guides us through travails that seem improbable, if not impossible. It does not shy away from any challenge, from any cause. It cannot. It is just love's way. Love says to us, there's always another way. You are receiving this guidance now. Perhaps you are scratching your head quizzically or are in deepest despair because you appear to have met a dead end, a frowning no, or a dismissive laugh upon your quest to bring love alive. So then, do you choose to believe in love or in the death of sorts of your heart faces, that your heart faces? Your heart shall rally. I choose death because that is a portal to new life. And so it is wise, you see, but you must be brave. To be burned in love, by love, and for love will involve endurance of pain, but it will also place it into context. It is a shorter pain that is not compounded by erroneous thinking. That pain comes and goes quite quickly when you realize that love is simply, playfully, smacking your wrist and saying, "Not that way, beloved. There are great pitfalls on that path. Come, take this one, where there shall be wine and dancing." So you're guided to accept the closed doors, the death, the pain, and to let it become tinder for your fire. Remember, I was telling you guys about using your fuel, using your fuel responsibly, right? Cry whatever tears need to be cried so your tinder can be dry and ready to create the sparks your heart needs. That sacred phoenix, ready to die into life within you, is hungry for the fire. Let it feast so it can fulfill its potential, its divine destiny, and be born again into new form, more divinely aligned and alive than ever before. This oracle comes with a message for you. You may feel as though you have been wandering in a desert for many years with no oasis in sight. You might have been through darkness, through trials, endured confusion and uncertainty as you sought for your truth, sought divine revelation, and sought your purpose to confirm your plans. Seek no more. The answers are now given, or very soon will be. And the life, the passion, the purpose, it will all come to you in clarity. Does life need to be grasped for? It is bestowed according to grace and destiny. It need not be sought so much as received. The spiritual destiny that calls your soul, even while you may feel your bodily ears are deaf to the call, makes your heart leap. It is as though hearing the beloved's voice and stirring an ancient memory of love so powerful moves you, even without you necessarily understanding how or why. So let the life come to you. Be prepared to let the old version of your life pass away into the new life now being born. What does this mean? It means letting go of your striving, your opinions, your doubts, your despair, and your fears. Life wants to happen through you, blazing angel. You don't have to do much other than get out of your own way. Love is your nature. Let it flourish, and life shall unfold accordingly. This oracle brings a particular message regarding divine timing, that oh so significant factor in our dreams coming to life. Your time is fast approaching. It may even be now. It may seem least likely to you. There may be great darkness or confusion, and yet the unveiling of the new dawn is closest to the deepest, darkest of night. Do not turn back or away from your progress. Your very next step shall be upon hallowed ground, rendered golden by the rays of the rising sun. Ooh, ooh, please, please. The next time I step on that 35 acres of land, it will be to watch the sun rise as we prepare to break ground for the sanctuary. It will be for that. And it will be beautiful. And everything between now and that moment will be everything that needs to happen in order for that moment to come to life, for that moment to be born of my effort and our community's effort. everything done will serve its purpose. Everything that you have been through, everything that I have been through, everything that our community has been through, it will absolutely serve its purpose, a purpose that we have not yet fully realized, simply because we are so busy trying to understand why we have to go through the things we are going through. And now I'm reaching a point. I don't need to understand. I accept everything that I've gone through, everything that you're going through, everything that our community has experienced together or silently alone. It is bringing us that much closer to the point where life shows us exactly why we had to go through what we went through and the benefits we will receive from it. For some of us, the benefit is simply learning yourself, understanding your power, your capacity, allowing yourself to see that at your core, no matter what happens, you're just a really good person. I think so many of the people in our community just are, that you've been through so many difficult things, things that were designed to destroy your sense of self, but they didn't. Those things didn't. Those people didn't. You're just who you are. And who you are is a good, kind, truly humble person. But to get to that space of humbleness, you have to first know how powerful you actually are and use that power in service. I love that. I love that a lot. Our community is going to give birth to something beautiful. We're going to do it together. We're going to make it happen. And it's going to come out of nowhere. It's going to come out of nowhere. Do you guys feel the shifting that's happening in the world? It's a shift of energy, like a vibration that's not physically felt. It's sensed. It's like you feel the vibration, but when you stop to figure out what's vibrating, you can't find out what it is because it's not a physical vibration at all. No. It feels like something is changing inside each of us. And as that changes inside us, it initiates a process that we are not intentionally initiating. A process that takes you step after step after step, closer and closer and closer to a point where you finally allow yourself to receive what has been earmarked for you. Some would say that we're simply in the process of walking towards our purpose. I won't say that that's not true, because it is true. But it doesn't give you an understanding of the truth of what this process is. You see, walking is a series of controlled falls that are stopped before you actually fall. So every time you almost fall, but you narrowly avoid it, that's another step that you're taking. It's time for you to see your life clearly. Those are not almost failures. Those are the steps you are taking to get to where you need to be. And when you begin to experience a period where, holy moly, guacamole, it seems like nothing is going right, One almost failure after another, after another, after another. Can't I get a break? Boo. It's at that point you're no longer walking. You're like, you're trotting. You're trotting. Yes. Yes. That's a fast walk with a little bit of sass in it, some jazz fingers. Let life do what it's doing. Let life do what it's doing. It's bringing you that much closer to that point that you have wanted for so long. So let it happen. They are big mad that you cannot be stopped. Who cares? Whether they be people, they be a company, they be demons, who cares? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going at whatever pace you're intended to go, whether it's a slow walk or a full on sprint. Keep going. Eventually, you'll find yourself exactly where you need to be to understand this entire process. It was designed to serve you and only you. Let the malignant people do what they're designed to do. Their intention is irrelevant. They are being used by soul. You are in a period of baptism through fire. Burn away the fear. Burn away the doubt. Burn away the hesitation. Enter into your new life fully cleansed and baptized in that sacred flame. Remember, there is no cosmic law that says the phoenix must rise from her own ashes. It's simply ashes that she rises from. And if people want to volunteer, emphatically volunteer to be the one that gets burned, let them. Let them. You keep doing you. Stay focused. Hold on to your integrity. And most of all, allow yourself to witness the process of you blooming. That is powerful. So guys, one final reminder this evening before I go to bed. This is not going to be held off until tomorrow. I'm telling my husband that right now. If you would like to join me for the Black Magic Revocation Workshop tomorrow, it is going to be tomorrow morning. Go ahead and click on that QR code or the link in the comment. This is a very powerful opportunity for you to learn from me, the energetic techniques to negate people's intentions, to inject your life with their malignancy. Do not allow people to do that. This is not about doing any type of spell work or anything like that. I teach you how to utilize my techniques from my system, Kokoro 33. How to negate. You need to begin negating. You cannot give your fuel away. You need that fuel to build what you are building for yourself and for the people you are building it for. People who you probably don't even know exist yet. It's time for us to do what we need to do. It is time. So I also got to get ready for class. That's time. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you're listening to the podcast, please follow, share, like, whatever you guys are supposed to do with a podcast. Download it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But most importantly, make sure you find me across all social media. I'm Emmy Evolving across the board. And I do quite a bit of etheric medicine work on TikTok. If you'd like to experience that, go find me over there. Emmy Evolving. Not the troll accounts. Look for the real one. All right. I'll see you guys again very soon.